When I set out to film today for the vlog, or I should say when we set out to film today for the vlog, I wasn't planning on being soaking wet. I also wasn't planning on having to deal with this huge mistake this morning. So yesterday when I had the scaffolding up and we were doing the drywall throughout the house, I was supposed to call my electrician and have him come up and nail up the 2 hi-hats in the foyer that were least accessible while we were doing the rest of the electric rough. So now that I forgot, they finished the drywall, they had these 2 cables hanging, and that bar box for the chandelier is also not installed. So I woke up this morning and I realized I had made a mistake. So I called my electrician and I showed up with him at the job site expecting the drywall guys to have easily been able to recreate that scaffold and let my electrician climb up there and get those hi-hats up. And that wasn't the case, so I had to run to another job. As you can see, I'm soaking wet. I had to bring a couple pieces of wood, and now we have to do a makeshift scaffold, rip down the sheetrock that was already installed, put those lights in, and then get that drywall back in. So they're not happy with me, I'm not happy with me, and I'm really not sure where we're gonna go with the rest of this episode, but that's what I'm dealing with right now. So I really pissed the guys off this morning by springing this little surprise on them. So I'm coming back with some coffees and some donuts. This is a pretty signature move of mine, and hopefully this will help to make some amends. So this mishap this morning is actually a perfect segue to one of the things that I wanted to talk about in this vlog, and that is the truth about entrepreneurship. You got a lot of guys out there these days, no offense to Gary Vee, that are out here preaching about entrepreneurship and you should be quitting your job and going out there and trying to make your best life. And that's a great idea, but a lot of people don't have that support structure, and a lot of people can't just quit their job with their wife and their kids and just go and start a business of their dreams. So, you know, a day like today where you have a mishap and it's pouring rain and you're stuck taking care of business, you don't have a choice, is a perfect example of what the truth is behind entrepreneurship. You're constantly inconvenienced. You don't have that time with family and friends. It's not all hanging out at networking events and making new friends and coming up on million-dollar dreams. It's a slow and steady and painful grind. And there are some days where I think about going and opening a restaurant and at least having a home base where I can just have all my problems contained to one small area, or even go back and go back to my career in accounting or law, or try something like that, because there's something to be said about that convenience too, about not paying $1 million a year for health insurance and not worrying about where your next check or when your next check is coming from. So, you know, this is something that I think is very much missing from that pro-entrepreneurial culture that we're living in right now. You got a lot of guys out there posting for the gram, flexing for the gram, and it's just not like that in my daily life. And this is a small setback that I had today, but believe me when I tell you this, there are some days where I physically feel the manifestation of my stress. I physically feel sick from just a couple things coming crashing down all at the same time. So that's sort of the message that I want to hit home with today, and then that is that entrepreneurship is not a walk in the park, and please don't quit your day job. However, I gotta give credit to Gary Vee. He's right about one thing. When you have an 8-hour workday and an hour commute each way, and you want to spend a little bit of time with the family, what are you doing with the rest of those extra couple of hours? If you have a gift, whether it's with a pencil or with your hands or with your mind, you can spend a few hours each day and build that up until you feel comfortable leaving that day job. And that's definitely an option, but not everybody is a 22-year-old fresh college graduate that can just quit their job and go and start this life of an entrepreneur. So that's the message.